Welcome to the Just Music podcast. Y'all know me as your host, Jalen. Marco is not on this episode, but we have um, a guy who's been on the podcast before. Very talented individual, very skilled vocalist. He's put out music this year. He's also done had a lot of other accomplishments hosting Fashion Week in LA. And he's also getting ready to release a new project in the world of gospel music. Nelson Gibson Jr., man, it's good to have you back. How you doing?
Glad to be here. I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, man. I can't complain. So last time we chatted,
Mm.
that was what was that? The spring, like April?
Yeah, I had just put
Yeah.
out a Must Ask. That was April. Yeah.
Yeah, you put out too much to ask, and wow, it's been a minute. It's been a minute, man. So definitely
Yeah.
want to go into detail, about really just your career up to this point this year.
Yeah.
So we were talking a little bit about you hosting LA Fashion Week. Talk
hmm
about it, man. How was that? What was that experience like?
Oh my goodness. It was, first of all, out of the blue. I got a call from Melanie Young, who is one of the dopest fashion editors in the business. And she asked me if I wanted to first come to Fashion Week. And I thought I was just gonna come and, kind of chill and enjoy it, whatever. But ended up doing some red carpet interviews, being interviewed and interviewing. I had the pleasure of wearing Abdullah Kamani's spring collection suit. It was an amazing structured piece. And it was just a really good experience. It was a lot because that's not really my lane, so to speak. Um, but I was honored that they asked me to. And one thing about events like Fashion Week and the Grammys and whatever, there are so many like sub events within the big event.
Yeah.
So there's opportunity for everyone, whether you're just starting out or whether or whether you're a vet in the game, you have an opportunity to network and an opportunity to just create content and just further your understanding, not only in fashion but in business. Because as entrepreneurs, I feel like it's important for us to be multifaceted in our knowledge about the business. Whether you're in the music industry, it's good to have knowledge in the acting industry, in the fashion industry. So um, I'm excited, and I got to do the LA Fashion Week Stories We Tell spread. So I did two covers. Um, Shout out to Marshall Powers. He shot the content for that, and Justin Bobbs and Tajaron Bradstreet. They were my creative directors for it. Jamari Sleephart. So it was an amazing experience, and I would do it again. I maybe do one event at a time because I had a whole jam packed weekend, and I was slightly going crazy just a little bit, but it was fun. It was totally fun.
No, for real. Like that's a really cool experience because I saw some of the pictures, um, and it looked really fun, man. Like that's really cool that you had the opportunity to experience that. And then on top of that, I really like how you said how, at events like the Grammys or Fashion Week or any of those big like events, those big glamorous events where, you have all the celebrities, there's events happening within those events. So, um, like you said, perfect opportunity,
Mhm.
to relate it to music. If you're an artist or you're a producer or an artist manager and you're looking
Right.
to get some connections for yourself or the people that you work with, like events like that are just perfect. Um,
Absolutely.
and just, also like it all comes full circle because you'll start to see like once you are in a certain industry, um,
hmm
a lot of people know a lot of the same people. It like the world is when they say like the world it's a small world, like there's definitely some truth to that. Because I
Yeah.
mean, you probably worked with, people in the music industry
hmm
where they know people that right here in Charleston and they all the way out in LA. So,
Right.
it's really cool how being in being in an industry that allows you to really network and put yourself in a position to elevate your career. So yeah, I'm very happy that you got the opportunity to do that, because that's something that not everyone has the opportunity to do, and it's something you can only benefit from. So
Absolutely, for sure.
and then so then to touch a little bit more on music, so I was looking and I saw that you also did a you are getting ready to release a new project soon.
Yeah.
Talk about that, man. So
Oh
what
my God.
yeah.
Intimate spaces.
Yeah.
First of all, I will preface this by saying we always have our plan. We always have how our agenda and how we think things are going to go. Um, but God always has a different route. He always has a crazy way of doing things. So last year, after I think like right after our interview, that following July, I had a live recording, which was really the end of my summer tour. Um, and the live recording happened, and we put out The Great I Am the following year, and it did really well. It's still doing really well on radio. Um, and I had anticipated, okay, well, the live album will be finished and we can just put it out and it'll be great. Um, but during my summer tour, there was something that just kind of a light bulb kind of came on creatively.
Mm.
And I was like, I have a whole book of music um, about things that I have been going through. In September of 22, I lost my friend and my brother, Trayvon, to suicide. And that really messed with my brain a whole lot, my brain and my heart and all my emotions. And being on the road away from my family for 3 months, like it was a lot. So I had all of this music and I said, wait a minute, this music isn't quite gospel. So how do I navigate just putting out a gospel record, about to put out an R&B record? Are the listeners gonna support it? Church people are gonna be fickle, but they're gonna be fickle anyway. So whatever. How's how's the media gonna respond? And so when I first moved out here to California, one of my greatest friends, one of my we've grown really close together. His name is Justin Bobs. He is one of the most genius producers, dancers, choreographers. He's literally all of that. Um, he actually just got another Grammy nomination this year for producing on Black's record. So
Oh,
that's
congratulations. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. He's that guy. And so my intention, to be honest, wasn't even for him to produce the whole record. But as we started working and writing, and he had like an archive of songs, literally, like he was like, you can have this, you can have this, you can have this, you can have this. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I went from having a little mini EP to EP. Now I got a whole record. Because I really combined the songs that we produced with Morel Braxton, um, with Ty Hunter, and now with Justin. And this was a really big collaborative effort, but all of the songs, pretty much all the cuts that made 85% of the cuts that made the album came from Justin. And he so selflessly poured himself out into our music. I say our music because it's ours. And he just put out a solo project himself,
Nice.
which it's called I Wrote This in the Escape of Things, and it's under his alias, The Heart of Glass. Um, that's available everywhere. Shameless plug. Go get it. But